When did a child's wedding meltdown reveal what the adults were too polite to say? My 8-year-old daughter Lily got dragged out of her cousin's high-class wedding reception by security after destroying 6 months of planning in 5 minutes. Chaos erupted the moment the ballroom doors opened, and 300 guests tried to find their seats only to discover complete pandemonium. Investment bankers sitting next to janitors while lobster thermidor was being served directly beside bean casserole at the same table. Auntie was shrieking about destroyed seating arrangements while elderly aunts and girls stared at their chicken fingers, and the parking attendant posted photos of his surf and turf on Instagram. I watched the disaster unfold from what should have been our table as servers scrambled between furious guests. And that's when I noticed Lily wasn't at the kids' table where she belonged after her flower girl duties. I had spent $2,000 on her dress and another $1,000 on travel for this society wedding, and now security guards were spreading through the crowd looking for whoever had switched every place card and meal ticket during cocktail hour. I found Lily sitting calmly at table 29 eating shrimp cocktail next to my mother, who should have been at table 3 with the wedding party, and the moment our eyes met, I knew she was responsible for everything. The wedding coordinator appeared with 2 security guards who escorted us to a side room where Auntie was pacing and repeating that this was deliberate sabotage. Her daughter Chelsea was sobbing in the corner in her wedding dress, and Lily sat there in her ivory flower girl dress with her chin raised defiantly, without a trace of remorse. Lily, what were you thinking? 300 people are in complete chaos, and your cousin's wedding is ruined, I said, kneeling beside her, but she looked at me with those huge green eyes and said, Auntie made 2 different menus where the groom's family was getting leftover conference food, while her rich friends got the expensive stuff, and that's not fair. The wedding coordinator interjected that the seating arrangements were carefully orchestrated to ensure guest comfort based on sophistication levels, but Lily interrupted her saying, Grandma was supposed to sit in the corner by the kitchen doors eating reheated chicken while the book club ladies got filet mignon at the head table, even though Grandma helped raise Chelsea for 3 years after the divorce. My chest tightened as Lily continued explaining that she'd overheard the catering staff discussing what they called the 2-tier system, where tables 1 through 15 received 5 courses with wine pairings, while tables 16 through 30 got the economy package, which was cafeteria food dressed up fancy. They were literally counting shrimp to make sure the poor tables didn't get more than 3 per plate, while the rich tables got unlimited cocktail shrimp, she said, pulling out a crumpled seating chart from her flower basket that she'd apparently stolen from the coordinator's station. The security guard shifted uncomfortably as Lily pointed to each table, explaining how Auntie had ranked every guest by their job title and zip code, with her own hairdresser hidden at table 29 because she didn't want wealthy friends knowing she went to a strip mall salon. The groom fixes cars and his entire family got marked with green stickers on their invitations, which meant they were the cheap guests who would get cheap food at cheap tables, Lily said, while Auntie's face turned darker shades of red. So I fixed it by mixing everyone together and switching all the meal tickets. Now the country club president is eating bean casserole next to the groom's brother who drives a bus, and that horrible woman who called me a clearance rack flower girl is getting dinosaur nuggets from the children's menu. The room went silent until Lily looked directly at Auntie and said, Why did you make Grandma sit at the reject table eating prison food when she's the one who taught your daughter how to ride a bike and braid her hair and make chocolate chip cookies from scratch while you were too busy at your wine club to even show up for her school plays? Auntie demanded we leave immediately through the service entrance, but as security escorted us out, we could hear unexpected laughter from the ballroom where the groom's family was finally talking to the other guests, and the mixed tables were actually creating conversations between people who'd never have spoken otherwise. 3 weeks later, Chelsea called to say the reception disaster had become legendary with the security footage of wealthy guests trying to steal food from janitors who refused to trade their lobster thermidor for French fries becoming the most watched video at family gatherings.